Main Morning Show. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. Sitting at home or you in your car. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. No matter if you get far. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. You better tune in quick or you might just miss. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. The best show this side of the sea. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. 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 It's the Mac Man Morning Show.
And good morning to everyone. This is WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the Mac Man Morning Show. Good morning to everyone on this wonderful Thursday morning. Hope that all is well in your neck of the woods. We'd like to thank all of you that are listening, no matter where you are, whether you're in your homes, your places of business, wherever you're listening to us on this morning. Thank you for your support, for your kindness, for all of the great messages that we've received from all of you. I'd like to say good morning to our YouTube audience and to our chat. Good morning to all of you on this wonderful morning, Ms. Reed. We're glad, Ms. Sharon Reed, we're glad that your son is doing well and is recovering. We've been praying for you, one of our longtime listeners, Ms. Reed. We're praying for you and praying for the children that you teach each and every day. We salute all teachers, all of the first responders that have responded to the disaster that has happened in Florida. I want to, once I get situated here, I am situated, like say good morning to our chief correspondent. I said what I said. She's here with us. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, James. How are you doing today?
I'm going to make it. I got to get these wires.
Yeah, you kind of having
everything.
some
I got
feedback.
it. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, that's a lot better. Yeah. Good morning to our listening
to.
audience, and good morning to the chat.
Good morning. All right. Well, it's been we have a lot of activity that's going on since last night down in the Florida area. If you're listening to us here on WKRA or on YouTube and you live in the Florida area, or if you have relatives in the Florida area, I need a report from Florida. People have been asking about various asking us to shout out to different people that can hear us and that have a internet connection. You can get WKRA around the world and not just in our country here. They're in our parts here. We're listening. We're heard all over. We like to say good morning to all of you. So if you live in the Florida area, that's been affected by the storm, or if you need, or if you know, not need, if you know anyone that lives in that area, please let me know. Say something in the chat or something, and what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to put the link in the chat, and I'm going to bring it up quite often to allow. I think I already put it in here, but I didn't. Good morning to everybody again. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can put this in here, do a little house cleaning. All right. Right here. If you look on your screen, those of you that are in that are looking in the chat and that are listening to us nationally on YouTube, and you hear me, and if you live in our region and you have a relative or you have somebody that you've been in contact with in the storm area, I'm asking that you please let us know something. That's the link. I'll put it back up very often to allow you to come in to discuss what's been going on. Our breaking news. Yes, we do have we got all kinds of things going on. Um, that we're trying to bring out to let everyone know that WKRA, we're on the job, we're doing what we do, and we will do our very best from our end here to ensure that we kind of get in touch with someone that will give us some information about what's going on in Florida. It was a real rough storm. Power outages are everywhere. There are like almost 2 million people without power this morning. There are some casualties in Florida. Sad to say that the people there are doing the very best that they can. My hat's off to President Biden and his administration and staff for everything that they are doing to help the residents of Florida from this horrific uh, weather event that's going on. I know we have no control. Somebody said something on the air that kind of made me laugh, saying that the government has control over the weather. And I said to her, and I say, I know the government is not God. The government doesn't call any kind of shots. So y'all stop thinking like that. The government has nothing to do with the weather. If that's the case, we have cool and wonderful weather year round. We wouldn't have these snowstorms and all these other things. So everybody always thinking that there's a conspiracy theory or there's a conspiracy going on. No, use your brain, folks. We have we have natural disasters, storms, things that come our way, and no, the government doesn't have anything to do with it. One of the leading candidates um, for public office, y'all know who he is. I ain't gonna mention him too much today, but they have it out, and his minions have it out that about controlling the weather, et cetera, et cetera. All I want to do is make sure that I'm looking for something right now. Make sure that you're informed. Make sure that you don't listen to idleness and for people that just gonna say anything and do anything. You don't need to be listening to them kind of folks. No way. I can't tell you who to listen to and who to talk to, but have some sensibility about yourselves and know that the government is doing everything within their power to help those that are in the most need. FEMA is on the ground. There are rescue workers and power workers and essential workers that are on the ground. They have to make sure that everything is clear and that they have an opportunity to get into those affected areas to make the best difference that they can. Please be patient. Be very patient. Give the workers an opportunity to get to your relatives, your loved ones, and to do the work that they do. It's horrific. As a firefighter, I've seen a whole lot of things. Even in Katrina, when I went there for recovery work and for other things that to help those people in New Orleans, they're still at this point trying to recover. There's still houses. If you go into the lower Ninth Ward and other places in Houston, I mean not in Houston, but in New Orleans, you will still see some of the devastation from Katrina. So this is the major storm, one of the major storms in in Florida's history. This is one of the worst, and we are praying for everybody that's there. Good morning to everybody that's here. Once again, you're here, and once again, we're here doing the work that we do here each and every day. Brother Lee is on his way, um, and we're just concerned about you. So if you have any relatives that live in that affected area, let me know something. Give me some kind of indication, and we can get them on. We just like to get a brief report before our broadcast is over today. Our broadcast day is over today. That we can at least hear and get some kind of detail and report from the citizens that live in Florida. Y'all pray um, for Florida and those that are affected in those outlining areas. Let me go to our weather and let's see what we're dealing with on this great morning that we have. As you know, fall is here, so we do have a little cooler weather this morning than we've had in recent mornings since the weather has changed and we're into fall. And I know that y'all chilly. Some of the kids they probably run in and get their jackets and everything because we're in the 50s as we speak. But as we look at our forecast today and see also what we're going to be just looking at just a little bit of what's going on down there in Florida with the weather. But here we're going to have more sunshine and pleasant weather today right here in the Mid South. We're going to continue to get the winds. The north and northeast, they're going to be coming from the north and the northeast. A minor warm up is coming as we approach the weekend. It's going to be a little warmer in the lower 80s, but already be watched out for another cold front coming our way this weekend on Sunday, as it has been forecast. It's going to cool down considerably, and we need to just prepare for that as far as wrapping up. The kids are on the corners waiting for the buses and so forth. When I was in Chicago, I had to catch public transportation to school. You had to go whether it was snow, rain, sleet, you was going, unless it had to be showing up something really terrible, a big old blizzard, you was going to school. So I'm praying for the children that are going to school. Y'all go on and do that you do. Hurricane Milton it made landfall last night, late last night. Tampa is flooded terribly. They said they got uh, the waves came in at about 12, 13 feet of surge that came in. And if you know anything about Tampa and Tampa Bay, you know that the Tampa Bay area, the water comes in and high tide comes in. When high tide came in, it brought in the seawater that came from the Gulf. And there's a lot of water, a lot of devastation. It's light now, so they're going to be working on recovery efforts. But right now, as we're looking at in Independence, it is 56. It is 57 in Olive Branch and in Horn Lake, and it is 57 degrees at WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial in Holly Springs, Mississippi. Hey, Holly Springs, good morning to everyone. Welcome. Brother Lee is here with us also. I said what I said. Our chief correspondent is here. Welcome to everybody that's here in the chat. I know that a lot of people have other things that they're doing. We're here on Thursday, and we're here to give you inspiration and information and inspiration. We're here to keep you informed, and we are concerned about your well-being and about you. All right. Now, a follow up to our story that we had about the super mayor. Just a little bit, I'm going to iterate. This is not our national story, but I have, by good information, that Mayor Henyard is going to court either this morning or tomorrow morning. Now, let's talk about this. Brother Lee had informed us, and rightfully so, that excuse me, excuse me. Brother Lee informed us that, and he was accurate in what he was saying about the law not being broke. She is the mayor of that village, meaning that according to state law, she is. I don't know what somebody. Okay. She is the mayor, meaning that she is the presider over all meetings. Lady T Book, hey, how you doing down there? Listen, hold on. Before I go into that, let me take her off of here. Lady T Book, I know that you are in that region somewhat, and yes, she does need to go, Lady T Book. She does. Can you type in the chat, or is there any way that you can get to us? Lady T Bug, and give us a report of what's going on and what you have observed, if you can, in any way. You see the chat. Um, Let me put it in if I already put it in. I'd like to get your point of view of what happened. And if you can load up right quick as I talk about that, that's the chat right there. If you can, uh, please do. I'd like to hear your voice and give the people um, an observation of what's going on. If you can take 5 or 10 minutes just to come in real quick, we'll get you out as fast as you came in. But I would like for you to come and if you can give us a report, please. I'm asking if you can. You see the chat that's on the screen, the link to the studio. Come on in and give us a little update on what's going on. There are people here in our region that are really concerned about loved ones. Yes, they got some calls, but then there are towers that are down. Some people may be out of power and can't or don't have backup battery. But please, if you can, Lady T Book, please come in and just give us something briefly to let us know that the people in your region down there is okay. But back to where I was. Um, the super mayor is going to court. The lawyers uh, for the board of trustees have went to the judge to say to report to them that there was a violation of some kind uh, that the lawyers are saying that she did. I don't know what it is as of now, but we want to find out and see what's going on there in Dalton. I wanted to give you that brief update on what's going on. Today, we're going to be talking about the ballot and the threats that are going on. There are a lot of funny business that's going on in our community. And yes, if you may, and if I said what I said as she brings us information in the chat, can you bring it to us, no matter how long it is, Lady T Book? Please let us know that everything is okay and give us a little update. You can do it in the chat and pull it up for us when she does. I said what I said. If you possibly can assist me today with the controls so that we can let everybody know what's going on in Florida. Now, back to what I was saying. She's going to court, and there's some things that have happened and that have came up. You all know that on live television, she was served with a subpoena to go to court. Somebody is suing her, and there was a trustee in Dalton. I mean, not Dalton, but in Thornton Township, the township that she's in charge of. Mr. Jerry Jones resigned, which caused a rift inside of the board. Now, the clerk, if Miss Hinyard has any kind of way, the clerk, I don't know what side she's on, but she would be the tiebreaker. There are already two trustees uh, that are trying to straighten out some situations there. 3 million people that are without power. Y'all keep looking, and I'm going to keep talking about. Keep it coming, Miss Lady T Book. I really do thank you. And as she's getting ready to go to circuit court to explain her actions. And one trustee was saying that it was like an intimidation that she was coming. She is the presider over all board meetings. So she didn't break the law there. She really just came in and she could leave when she gets ready. And I like to take my hat off to uh, I want to take my hat off to Jason House, Mayor Pro Tem of Dalton, for his grace, his dedication, his courage, and the way that he treated her. He could have said easily, "You wasn't here. We running the meeting, and you can go on about your business." What he did was the right thing. He stood up, yielded the chair to the presider. By law, she is the presider of all board meetings in Dalton. That's the law. If she doesn't show up, there is an ordinance in place that Mr. House will serve as pro tem of the boards. So we're going to be looking at that. Lady T Bug gives us some information. She said that there is 3 million people without power in the state. That's a lot of people. Also, she's saying that VP Harris wants everyone to report price gouging. Now, you already know that they lying. One of the senators got on television and was saying, "Oh, the ports are closed." Well, the ports had suspended their strike. He's saying that they're gonna strike and y'all gonna be without toilet paper and all that lying and telling people all of that foolishness. People, please use your common sense and don't listen to these people that are putting out these lies, and especially to the guy that wants to be president again and stay out of jail. He's lying up and down the street. This is still serious business. And as the search parties, as Lady T-Bug has given us the information, she says that there are search parties out looking to rescue anyone in the flooded areas. There are a lot of people that stayed behind. One, they didn't have the finance to just pick up and leave, and they didn't have an opportunity to prepare. They just came out of Helene, the hurricane there. I think that was last week, and now they got to face these situations that's going on. They got minimal damage. The ports look good, and they had just minimal damage in Tampa, at the port of Tampa. A lot of commerce goes out of Tampa, and they're really beautiful city. And if you've seen it for yourself, I've been to Tampa once or twice, and it's a beautiful city. But that Bay Area, that Bay floods when hurricanes come and the winds and the waters and everything come, and that storm surge comes, and they really are looking for someone to they're looking for help, and the government is there, FEMA is there, first responders are on the ground. I know that they have some here that have already descended down there in Florida. Some dear friends of mine that work for Patford Ambulance Services are there providing paramedic services and assisting paramedics and people down there. So we just wanted to get that out of the way. Hey, it's break time. I went over a little bit. You're listening to WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the MacMan Morning Show. We're going to take our first break. We're going to come back on the other side with our chief correspondent. I said what I said, and Brother Lee, our chief contributor. And if they have anything that they would like to express to the people of Florida, we'd like to do so. Stand by also for our national story, which is ballots and threats protecting you at the voting booth. We'll be back right after these words.
America, we are not going back. We are not going back. We are not going back.
I don't know about you, but I'm not going back. If you're not going back, vote Diane Black. Again, if you're not going back, vote Diane Black for U.S. Representative, 1st Congressional District of Mississippi, November 5th, 2024. Vote Diane Black.
Paid for by Friends of Diane Black.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know. Get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know. Left, right, left, left, right, left. Your mama, your daddy, they vote. Your sister, your brother, they vote. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, they need to get out and vote. Your mama, your daddy, they vote. Your sister, your brother, they vote. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, they need to get out and vote. This is a call to all Americans. On November 5th, 2024, you have a chance to be heard. Make your voice known. Vote. It's your turn.
And we're back on the MacMan Morning Show. Good morning to everybody. This is WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial out of Holly Springs, Mississippi, our headquarters and distribution point for our live signal. We'd like to thank each and every one of you that are joining us by way of YouTube. Looking live with us. We're glad to have you. We're thanking you for being here with us. We thank you, Lady T-Book, who is in the Florida area, in that region, and she's giving us ticker information that we're putting up on the screen that gives us some information on what's going on. All the flights are canceled out of Orlando and St. Pete and Tampa today, of course. At least 4 deaths have been reported. And also, Lady T-Bug filled us in and let us know that 34, that sounds kind of, I heard that number before. 34 tornadoes were reported in the region. We have, they're still working on getting fuel containers in and out of there. There's a lot of gasoline and products that people need that they cannot get. There are people that we know are displaced. We do know that there are people that are still missing, that they're trying to recover or help to rescue. I'd like to say to those of you that are concerned about your relatives, please don't go to Florida. Do not go to Florida. You're not going to really be able to get in there with all of the first responders and searchers. We know that there are people that lewd. I'm not saying everybody, but there's some people that are going to be trying to scam homeowners. Please go through FEMA. Go through FEMA or your county emergency management to get the assistance that you need. The assistance is on the ground. FEMA is there. Let me explain something before we go into this. Just real quick, I'd like to explain to you that the federal government's response is this. They are not the first responders. They are the resource, the financing, and the manpower that they can bring, that the federal government can bring to that region and coordinate. That's what they do. Your initial responders, your firefighters, police officers, power workers, and anybody else, search and rescue, anybody else, they're on the local level, local and state level. We're really rooting for them. There is resources that are there. Don't listen to what people are saying. I know firsthand by reports and by things that I have through my channels that FEMA is on the ground. So don't let people tell you all kinds of foolishness and saying that they are not there. They are there. They were there. Matter of fact, they were there 2 days ahead of the storm to coordinate the things that are going on. I just don't like people lying and acting and just putting foolishness out there. If you're going to report the news, be a true reporter or a journalist and put it out there right. We do a whole lot of foolishness and we do a whole lot of uh, shining and carrying on. But when we have situations like this, when our brothers and sisters are looking for help, and if you go back to Katrina and the way that Katrina was handled, I got to take my hat off to this administration, not just because I like it, but because they responded. And any president, anybody that's in leadership when there's a national disaster such as this or anything, should step up to the plate and take care of the duties and uphold the oath that they swore to, that they would uphold the Constitution and serve the people that they're going to serve. So we're going to continue to hear Lady T Book as she brings us uh, any updates that she have, and we really do thank her for what she has done. Brother Lee, it's been some terrible weather. I have not been through actual hurricanes or anything like that. Actually, physically there, I heard of tornadoes and different things. There were some things that happened way back in Illinois, even in Plainfield. They had a real terrible tornado situation, a real terrible situation, almost leveled that whole area almost. Brother Lee, could you give us some insight, and would you like to say hello to anybody? You and I said what I said. Would you like to say anything to anybody that you know in Florida, or just want to encourage our listeners? They might be listening, but they can't respond. But we just like to just say good morning to them. So you and I said what I said. You can greet the people there as we continue with our day.
Well, I like to say my prayers go out to them, and not just to them, the whole state and the whole country. I mean, we could use some prayers, and I know they'll make it out of it. They stay in prayer, and God will take care of it. I know He will, but they have to use common sense and get out of that area as soon as they can, and call the government, contact the government, FEMA, and FEMA will be there for you. That's a fact. It was there for me when I had damages. So let me tell you, they respond right away. I don't know what you're hearing on the news, but they do respond, and they respond right away. So let's give FEMA a chance, because they can make a big difference. That's what I have to say.
I said what I said.
Yes. Good morning, Lee. How you doing today? And
Good morning, my sister.
good morning. I just want to say I am also praying for the residents in Florida, and it's very important not to listen to disinformation. I heard on the news this morning that one person didn't want to call FEMA because they were listening to disinformation. So please just listen to your city officials, your governor, and contact FEMA. Their helpline number um, is 505 995 7133, and I'm going to put that in the chat. And so, yeah, just listen to FEMA, and just if you can evacuate, and just try to hold on. And we're praying for you guys.
Well, we thank you for that input. Also, I just got something across the. Okay, let me put you back in here. All right. We just got a report. I just got a report. I'm sorry, that the Mississippi National Guard has been activated, and they're deploying to Florida to back up the National Guard there and the officials there for security or search and rescue or what have you. It just came in to our newsroom that the Mississippi National Guard has been activated. The Governor Reeves has activated portions of the uh, National Guard here, and they should be deploying and on their way if they're not on their way now. And there are many other resources that are going to be coming from various parts of the state. So y'all hold on. Give them an opportunity to get there. They got to assess things. And please do not listen to the lies and garbage that people are putting out there about this. There are going to be a lot of scammers. There are going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of people out there trying to take advantage, and you know that that Florida is a retirement state, as they say. A lot of people go there to retire and live the rest of their lives and enjoy. Um, but we also got from Lady T Bug that that FEMA has been set up at Tropicana Field, the home of Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay Rays. Okay, I said it. Lady T Boy, give you a shout out to your team. Um,
And James,
they're on the ground. Yes, ma'am.
let me update that number, James. That was
Oh,
just the national number, but the number for Florida is 1-800-621-3362. So
yes,
that's
it's up
the
on the
direct,
screen now.
yeah, that's the
Hmm.
direct number for Florida to reach the Florida FEMA.
Okay, Florida FEMA, you all that are looking there and that listening, that you can listen to us and you hear us. 1-800-621-3362. That's 1-800-621-3362. That is FEMA for Florida, for the affected area. If you need assistance, please use the assistance that you have there with the local and state officials. Follow their guidelines, follow their directions. If you can get out of there, get out of there. If you're not, 9 times out of 10, you're somebody's trapped, somebody somewhere. I know that financially you can't move around. A lot of people can't move around like they want to, but that should not stop help from coming their way. There are people still on the ground out there that they're trying to give an account for. If you know that your relative stayed in that affected area, you can let us know anywhere at any time. We will put a shout out, and we'll keep our eyes on this tragic story. And you say, why do you spend so much time on this? Because people matter, and if you don't think people matter, there's other places. And I'm not trying to invite you anywhere else. I'm sorry that I'm not even sorry. No, stop that. No, I'm a newsman, and I'm going to present, and this is a talk show, and we do talk about various things. This just happened to be on our front burner on this morning. We just like to continue to pray for our brothers and sisters in Florida. This morning, I got a couple of things from our production staff and from our wonderful chief correspondent. Brought these things to our attention. We were talking about that 10-year-old, and we got so wrapped up into some things that we did not get a chance to talk about some things. But I'd like to just play this little video right quick, and we're going to talk about it on the other side. This is MacMahon Morning Show, y'all.
Well, this was the moment a driver went on a joyride through a park right next to a playground filled with children. Minneapolis police say that driver was just 10 years old and the car was stolen. Luckily, no one was hurt. Even more shocking, the 10-year-old already has a long criminal history.
Lauren Lemanchek has been following the story all day and brings us the very latest. Lauren?
Yeah, you're right. That video is shocking. And so is the history of a 10-year-old boy who police say they've had 30 contacts with. Tonight, the Hennepin County attorney has charged the boy in that case and in a separate attempted carjacking. This case is an example, officials say, of major system failures.
It is literally a matter of life and death when we're talking about what's going on with these young kids.
When a 10-year-old allegedly drove a stolen car through a playground full of kids near Nellie Stone Johnson School in North Minneapolis, it wasn't his first run-in with police. MPD says he's been arrested twice before for car theft and is a suspect in more than 12 cases, ranging from stealing cars to assault with a dangerous weapon.
The system doesn't have an answer for what to do with someone this young. And that is the revolving door that we've been seeing over and over throughout this year.
An urgent problem Chief O'Hara says frustrates the kids' parents, too. KARE 11 recently interviewed the mother of a different 12-year-old who had been repeatedly picked up for stealing cars.
The kids, they sit and get all these cases, and they keep letting them go. But that doesn't do anything. That's not helping solve the problem.
But in her son's case, and in so many others, there are no secure facilities in Minnesota for these very young kids to go. The county attorney's office says that needs to be solved right now.
We know what we need. We need residential placements with varying levels of security in our community.
Chief O'Hara agrees.
Someone like this, unbelievably at 10 years old, is so much at risk that when we are able to take them and bring them in, we can't just let them go.
In Minnesota, kids cannot be charged with a crime if they're under 10, so that boy likely had to be released without charges before. It's interesting to note, though, that law is changing upward. Starting in 2026, kids won't be able to face charges until they're 13, something else the chief is extremely concerned about. Julie?
Oh my goodness. Lauren, it's just jaw-dropping. Thank you so much. Chief O'Hara had much more to say about the troubling trend of young children and crime. If you'd like to hear his entire press conference, you can find it on the KARE 11 YouTube channel.
The interesting thing about this yesterday when we were talking briefly about this is, wait a minute, hold on a second. The interesting thing about it is this is a 10-year-old. A 10-year-old, I mean, just rolling all over the playground and everything. Look at me, y'all, look at me. And a troubled child, a child that has some issues with, and we know a lot of children, we know a lot of people got some, you might have issues, I mean, with these young people, but this boy's feet could reach the pedal. Well, I'm sure it can, a small car like that. He could reach the pedals and everything. It used to be a time you couldn't reach the pedals. Talk about taking somebody's vehicle. But it's not a laughing matter. It's a serious one because now this young man's life is about to take a turn that I'm sure he did not want to happen. We've been talking, and we've been talking about issues with our young people each and every day. And it's just sad to see, I said what I said, that this situation is going on with this young man. And to hear the mother saying, y'all letting them out, like they're at their wits' end. Can you, what's your thoughts on this subject?
Well, I was wondering the same thing. Someone in our chat, Penelope, said she wondered if he played GTA. And I was just getting ready to say that. I think a lot of these kids are being guided by these video games and social media. Um, and you're absolutely right. He's headed down. He's headed down a downward spiral. As you heard on the video, there's nothing they really can do to him at this point. And they're going to change the law to where you won't be able to do anything with him until he gets 13. And I wonder where he got an assault weapon. And who is guiding this young man, because it looked like he doesn't have any type of guidance at home at all. And even if he does have guidance, they're not doing, they can't seem to control him. So and it may be a mental issue also. Some kids, need counseling and need medication. I'm not saying that that's what his situation is, but it's something going on, something is wrong, and it really need to be addressed ASAP. And I hope it's not too late, because by the time you get 10 years old, your brain is already, fully developed at 6. And so it's all about learning behaviors after 6 years old, of learning right from wrong. And it doesn't appear that if he's getting that lesson, it don't seem like it's soaking in. So I hope that somebody can do something with him, get him some type of counseling or medication, or take him off of social media and these video games. I just don't see a bright future for him at this point, with him having 30 cases already. Like, what's going on with that? Something is really, really wrong for this child to have such a long, extensive criminal record. Like, most people don't even start getting in trouble until they're teenagers, and he's not even a preteen yet. And so something is wrong, and hopefully they can address that before he get hurt, or before he hurts someone else. And that's my thoughts about it. Lee, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts about it?
Well, I'll make a slight correction. Actually, your brain doesn't stop developing until you're in your early 20s. Um, so your brain is still developing past your teen years. And so, but it is an impression that is made by the things that they see, like Grand Theft Auto, the video game. Man, I've seen it, and it's something else. They pull old women out the car, they kick them. Sometimes old
What?
women, sometimes old women come up with a bat from out of nowhere and beat them up. Um, it's a lot going on in that Grand Theft Auto. I want to see what was going on, so I looked at it and I watched it. And it's way over the top. And
Wow.
for a kid that understands that it's just a game, they can put it in perspective. But you got little kids, 10, 6, 7, 8, young. They want to live that fantasy. They think it's a game, so they'll do those things. So the parents are buying the games. Some kids can buy them, but thing is, the parents are allowing the kids to watch, not just the parents, the adults. They got to be an adult in these homes because the kid can't buy the home, can't rent the place, so they're staying with an adult. So when you buy the kids these games, it should be a label on it. I don't know if they would buy by the label that kids should be supervised when these games are on. They should be supervised when they're looking at social media. They shouldn't have phones that can get them in social media. It should be able, like you can do your television, you can put up a parent alert or a guard up where they can't watch certain things. So it's not that difficult to police your kids. So that's what I have to say.
I wanted to say also to a member of our chat that says, "Are we blaming single mothers?" No, nobody's blaming anybody. We all have a responsibility in raising children, and we have a responsibility to guide them in the right way. I'm not saying anybody did anything wrong, but this kid had too much time on his hands to be riding around. I mean, he riding too. He drive. I mean, hey, y'all, look at me, and God forbid, thank God, he didn't hit nobody or anything. But he was going pretty fast, 10 years old, And I think that the laws, and some of these young people know that these laws, that nobody's going to be able to do anything to them. And that's how I was reading about how gangs would recruit these young kids because they know that they can get away with practically anything, teach them to drive and shoot and everything else. And it's really something it's really things that are going on. We got to do something with our children. I don't know whether the child is black or white. It doesn't matter what color you are. It's a shame that a 10-year-old is doing the things that they're doing. Somebody has dropped the ball on this. We're going to go to our second on our second children. Yeah. We're going to go to our second break. You're listening to WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the MacMan Morning Show. I'm James Mack, your host, along with our chief correspondent, I Said What I Said, and our chief contributor, Brother Lee. We'll be right back after these messages. We'll be right back.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios.
gonna have a good time, yeah.
America, we are not going back. We are not going back. We are not going back.
I don't know about you, but I'm not going back. If you're not going back, vote Diane Black. Again, if you're not going back, vote Diane Black for U.S. Representative, 1st Congressional District of Mississippi. November 5th, 2024. Vote Diane Black.
Paid for by Friends of Diane Black.
Happy Thursday to you. This is the Mac Man Morning Show. I'm James Mack, your host. I want to thank all of you for being here with us on this wonderful Thursday. As you know, we are reporting about what's going on in Florida, about what's happening around our country with our young people, but we also have our national story, lead story that we're getting ready to partake in. Ballots and threats. What's going on at the ballot box? What's happening? Who's being threatened? What is going on? What about this voter intimidation? Our chief correspondent and our chief contributor, Brother Lee, and our chief correspondent, said what I said, will take the reins on here, and we're going to be discussing about this because it's real serious about what's going on in the election, folks. The diversion is, I know that we got a national disaster going on with the hurricane, and people are early voting right now, especially here in this region. Absentee voting has started. And if you know you're not going to be available on election day, please avail yourself to make time to get to your county courthouse or wherever they are doing early voting, and go ahead and vote and make sure you got your vote in. It's nothing wrong with going early. And if you're just going to wait until election day, please make sure you know, everybody should know where you vote, whether you're registered, or make sure that your registration is up to par, because we've gotten reports of people being purged off of voting rolls. They're doing everything that they can, but I just believe, I got that courage enough to believe that everything is going to be all right. At this time, our national correspondent, I said what I said, and our chief contributor, Brother Lee, we're going to be talking about our morning lead story. I said what I said.
Thanks, James. This morning, we're going to be talking about the threats in your voting rights and the ballot. I have a couple of videos I want you to watch first, and then we'll go ahead and discuss it on the other side. These videos are pretty interesting to me, and I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked because, it happens all the time. But let's watch these couple of videos here.
Meanwhile, ahead of the November 2024 elections, the FBI wants Connecticut voters to know that they should have confidence in their system and emphasize their great communication and collaboration with both state and municipal authorities.
If it doesn't smell right, it's probably not right.
Federal law enforcement wants voters to remain vigilant leading up to Election Day.
Threats to election workers, threats to infrastructure, threats to the integrity of the process, that is something we are keenly aware of, and we talk almost on a daily basis with all of our external partners.
Threats from foreign actors are of concern.
So it's very easy for somebody sitting on the other side of the globe to take a victim or have a victim here in Connecticut.
But the FBI says issues arise here at home, too. Just last month, the Secretary of the State's office intercepted an envelope at a mail center in West Hartford, matching the description of envelopes sent to other states containing white powder.
The FBI takes every threat, whether it be elections or otherwise, seriously, and we will pursue all of them aggressively, within the bounds of federal law. We will address them case by case, fully, and if we need to, with outside partners.
The FBI says elections are a polarizing issue in the country, and the increasing spread of mis and disinformation isn't helping, leading to voter suppression and disenfranchisement.
Is the place incorrect? Then we would be concerned, we would be interested. Is the time incorrect? That's where we're going to be also looking. And then is the manner in which you can vote. Can you just vote by text message? That's disinformation and misinformation that certainly would rise to the level of our interest in investigative response.
Security officials say while some of this is reactive, they want the public to know they are training constantly and communicating with other law enforcement agencies.
Why should Connecticut voters have faith in their election system here in the state?
Well, like I said before, we have been working at this for years between all of the federal partners, all of the organizations that we have done, state, municipal, federal. We have full confidence on our end that our partnerships and our engagements are very, very strong, and that the voters of Connecticut should also know that we work on this all the time, and we will see this through. Election Day is just the middle. We will see this through after Election Day as well.
Reporting in New Haven, Emma Wolforst, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Meanwhile, the FBI says
Is there another video? Let me see.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Meanwhile,
Let me
the
click it
FBI
again.
says
Give
it
me a
has
sec.
foiled a terror plot targeted for Election Day. Police arrested 27-year-old Nasir Ahmad Tawidi in Oklahoma on Monday. According to officials, the Afghan national and an unnamed young person planned to stage a violent attack in the United States on Election Day. Tawidi allegedly was going to carry out the attack on behalf of ISIS. The FBI took him into custody after they say he bought rifles and ammunition from an undercover law enforcement officer.
Okay. I guess you kind of cut. I guess it cut short. Um, but this is what's going on now. We've had this before. An attack on America. I don't know if you guys remember, but you remember Timothy McVeigh. He blew up the Oklahoma. He blew up the building in Oklahoma, a government building. I forgot the name of the building. Was it what was it? Do you remember, James, the name of the building that he blew up? I knew it was a government building downtown. The one that Timothy McVeigh blew up, where all the workers were working. But anyway, this happened before, and it looked like this guy from Afghanistan wanted to do this again. Um, they're always talking about our immigrants. They're always talking about immigrants from Mexico. And but this guy is from Afghanistan. So many times, so many Americans get infiltrated by ISIS for some reason, and I don't understand why he want to try to blow up something in America right before the election. None of that is going to solve any issues. The FBI, to me, they didn't seem like that they were that informed. They said that they're working on this, but I didn't feel like that they were vigilant enough uh, uh, to work around the clock to make sure that everybody is safe. Um, Trump has been spewing a lot of disinformation. They're telling people all type of crazy stuff when it comes to when it comes to us voting, and it's all supposed to be for voter suppression. They're going to even have people at the polls that's going to be in armor gear just to intimidate the voters. And you know what voting polls they're going to be at. They're going to try to be, in our neighborhoods so that we can be intimidated, so that we won't cast our vote, because they're throwing out all the stops. I've said before, the closer we get to the election, the more threats we're going to have, the more intimidation there's going to be, and there's going to be more disinformation. And it appears the closer we get to the election, the more unhinged he becomes. And so, thank you, Penelope. It was at the Alfred P. Murray Federal Building where Timothy McVeigh blew up that building. And, not only is Trump against America, it looked like he's trying to turn his MAGA people. It appears that he's trying to turn a lot of people against America, just because he may not be winning in the polls. I feel like he knows that this is a losing race for him. And, in my opinion, he's a narcissist. And anytime a narcissist can't get their way, then they try to bring a crowd along with them, and that's exactly what he's doing. Just like he had those people to go to the Capitol on January the 6th, I really feel like that he's gonna try to. I don't know what he's gonna do when it comes to the election, but I think everybody need to buckle down, pay attention, and just be ready for whatever is going to happen, because I really feel like that it's going to be another attack on America and he's going to lead it. Um, I don't understand why no one is doing anything about him. In my opinion, he's spreading domestic terrorism. That's what he's doing, in my opinion. And so, just like you can rest assured they're gonna arrest this guy from Afghanistan, and they're going to, give him the full extent of the law. He's going to be held accountable, but they're not holding this one old white guy accountable. And what makes him any different than this Afghan guy that was plotting against America, um, to launch this attack? And in my opinion, Trump is doing the same thing. And instead of it being foreign, it's domestic. And the FBI really need to come up with some new rules. I don't feel like I don't think they have any rules for domestic terrorism, but we have a domestic terrorist that's running for Congress, and I really feel like they need to take this serious, and they really need to do something about it, because I don't feel confident based on that video that they're going to be doing too much about him. Lee, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, my sister, I'd say this. It's a perfect example of privilege. He's at privilege at the highest level. That's why they don't come after him. It's clearly terrorism, domestic, it's it's international terrorism. He's not just doing terrorism here. He's asking governments to attack the US. He's asking Putin, begging Putin to get involved. He's begging other countries to get involved. I mean, he is doing the, like my grandkids would say, and the thing is about this is that you're seeing privilege in action, not just race privilege. It's wealthy, economic privilege. He has money, and they take their time, and they're very slow at acting privilege of wealth. They may arrest you right away, but they'll take years to come after somebody with money. I mean, there's examples. I mean, you got a lot of political leaders and a lot of celebrities that have money that they've taken years to arrest, and then they let them out. So and getting back to the polls, must not be intimidated. And the thing is, people have died for this right. Our people have died by the thousands and maybe the millions. We don't know, just to keep us from having a voice. We've died by the millions just to keep us from having a voice. I mean, that's the thing we got to understand. If we have to go through a few bad words or somebody, if you see something, say something. If you see somebody out there, they're spewing hate, and they're around the polling places, they should be 1,000, actually 100 yards away from the polling place. Once you vote, you should leave. And if you're not leaving, you should be arrested. You shouldn't be allowed to hang around a polling place, I'd say 500 feet. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. And I don't know if they got ordinances or state laws or federal laws or county laws, but they should have them. That's what I have to say.
Well, in my opinion, some of these states are probably going to allow them to be there. But how are I remember last time in the 2020 election, Arizona had to make those people leave because they tried the same thing in Arizona. If you guys will remember, you had people there in their army fatigue, and they had their guns because they are allowed to walk around with open carry, and so they're going to try to use these laws that's lawful to probably be around the polls. But if you can't wear any type of like your attire, what you put on, you can't wear anything saying that you're supporting a certain candidate. You know, you can't wear anything political when you get ready to go vote, right? Now that's how it is in Texas. I don't know about other states, but here they let you know you can't wear anything political when you get ready to go vote, as because it's like you're influencing somebody to vote the way that you do. So, you know, you can't, like, I can't go in there with a Kamala Harris t-shirt on, and neither can anybody go in there with a Trump hat or t-shirt on. But you're going to allow these people with army gear with a gun and, you know, look like that they're a security police or if they're in the military just to intimidate voters. Now, I don't think it's going to work because, like you said, we've been through worse. And so, you know, you're going to have to do a little bit better than that to intimidate us. But some people may be intimidated. Everybody is not strong, and everybody is not, you know, some people are going to be fazed by this, especially our older people, our elderly people. And they understand that seniors vote more than any other group. And so if you can get a lot of people to stay at home, or if you can get a lot of people not to go to the poll, then you know that's a vote. You know, you're when you don't vote, that's just a vote for the other person, in my opinion. And so I really feel like the federal government need to. I hope they have a plan. They say they do, but I didn't feel confident. You know, watching that video. In my opinion, they did a good job with catching this guy before he launched any type of attack on people. And it always seems like um, they're doing that part of it pretty well. When these people want to plot against the government, it looked like they're plotting with the informants. I just watched the news this morning where this lady was trying to launch an attack on a power grid in the black neighborhood in Philadelphia, and I mean in Baltimore. And so they caught her because she was talking to an informant. So they are kind of watching, you know, who's saying what online. They're watching some of the noise, but I don't know if they have a plan for the polls. I didn't feel too confident about that. I hope they do, but it didn't appear that they did. And I hope they're ready for what's going to happen during this election and after this election, because I really feel like something is really going to happen. And this is just my opinion, not WKRA, not James or Lee's opinion. This is just my opinion. I said what I said. I feel like something is really, I feel like something is brewing in the air, and something is really probably going to happen if this guy loses. What are your thoughts about that, Lee?
I would say he's definitely going to do something. That I would say I don't have a crystal ball, but I don't need one because this man is going to act a fool. And he's not personally going to act a fool like he did last time. He's going to stir you up and say, I'll show up and I'll be there. And he won't be there. He's definitely going to have people just out of their mind going up there. You can bet on that. That's a sure bet. He's going to definitely this time he will not catch the government off guard. He will not catch law enforcement off guard. He caught him off guard because the thing is, and we can say it. All got used to all those white folks acting a fool all at one time, and now the world is watching. Are you going to let the privileged white folks act a fool again? So, are you going to let our Constitution, the government, the people that actually obey these laws, going to let them watch others who can break the law when they don't, when it's not? You okay, the thing is, he's not. The thing is about this, you saw thousands of Caucasians storming the Capitol when they did not get what they wanted in a way works for them, then they quiet. When the law is working for all the people, then they have a problem. They say they stole it when they don't get what they want. How many times, how many elections, presidential elections or local elections, have we voted and we did not get what we wanted? And we just said, okay, I'll abide by the results. We voted for over 40 something presidents and not one would look like us. But did we storm the Capitol? We have marched on the Capitol and not one of us have been arrested. And it was a million-man march. It was the march by Dr. King and others, and marches before that in the 20s, and there was no one arrested. Here's the thing: they had hundreds would arrested. They would have arrested thousands. Have enough police. That's what I have to say.
Well, Lee, we know better than that. We already know we probably won't be here if we did try to launch some type of attack. And had the shoe been on the other foot on January 6th, and it would have been us, they would have already had the National Guard there. So we wouldn't got the opportunity to even, attack the Capitol or anything else. You can rest assured when you had the Million Man March, I guarantee you they had enough security to take care of the Million Man March, as well as any march that Dr. King did and anybody else that marched on the Capitol.
But have
Like
you
you
noticed
said,
something though? I said what I said. If I can just interject a little bit there, I went to the. It was the commemoration of the Million Man March. Just a little footnote. There was, I would say, a million people out there. I had to be. Um, there was not one arrest. There was not one stitch of paper left on the grounds or on the mall grounds, the federal mall grounds where they were. Nobody got arrested. Nobody went out of the way, even though people were concerned about the things that were happening in the country. They didn't riot. They didn't holler. They didn't do anything. Nobody got arrested or anything. So I just wanted to put that in there because you said so.
no, I said no. That's what Lee was saying. Nobody got
Yeah,
arrested.
Lee.
Nobody did anything.
Right.
But I'm
Right.
saying if we know better than to do something like that, James. We're not gonna go and try to retaliate. Anytime we do anything, it has to be a peaceful march. We understand that. Even in Charlottesville, we did a peaceful march. Trump turned it into a disaster and a
Oh,
fiasco.
so they
Him
tell us
against
not to raise. We ain't supposed to raise hell, but they supposed to act crazy. They can do what they want. I'm not saying you said that, but that's we supposed to be peaceful. As long as we peaceful, we all right,
right. But
and
we
they can do what
understand
they
what the
want.
consequence. We understand the consequence. We understand that we're not going to make it home if we do try to rile up. And so we understand that, we have to be peaceful if we want to make it back home. That's all I'm saying.
I
They
got a
didn't tell us
question.
that.
Can I? Yeah, I wanted to ask you something, or one of you all, Brother Lee, probably. I think he remembers more than I would. Um, are these tactics that they use? And I say, what I know, we living in the 21st century, and people are doing some things, and they sending all kinds of stuff. You got to watch your mail. They're doing. Evidently, our vote is so precious and important, Brother Lee and Sister. I said what I said. It's so important that they coming after us. Like, why are they messing with us? Well, the folks that ain't got nothing, they say. We have no sense. Our vice president, she's retarded. That's what he said. She's got a mental problem. I don't know where he gets. He's crazy, but y'all know he's nuts. He say all these things, and all the, we supposed to be peaceful and let the fire hoses and the dogs get us again. I ain't going for it. I mean, we're supposed to let people whoop us with the billy club and do all these things. But these folks stormed the Capitol, Brother Lee and Sister. I said what I said. They stormed the Capitol. They went up in there with them rebel flags. They put feces on the wall, and then they put a lady up front, and she had the nerve to have a weapon come up in there against the Capitol Police, and she got what she had coming because she had no business on those grounds or in that building with that firearm. Am I just saying something or being facetious, or is that true, Brother Lee and Sister? I said what I said, that um, the tables, I mean, it seems like it's just, it's another set of standards
Hey,
for us
listen,
about what's going on. Go ahead, y'all. Yeah.
Listen, it's like they say, it's okay when they do it. It's wrong when we do it. See, that's the thing. That's what it boils down to. It's okay when they do it. It's wrong when we do it. So that's the thing we have to understand. We see what your own eyes can see. That's what's happening. When they can get up there and act a fool and say, if we don't do what we want, somebody gonna die. Crazy or get alive. That's crazy. And that's what's happening. We get to see that thing. This is very important. We get to see how they act when the shoe is on the foot. We don't have to speculate because they've been telling you, oh, we law abiding. We abide by the law. We don't do, even in the laws is in their favor. If they get one situation that doesn't go their way, they get in a group and they get to kill their own kind. They will do white on white crime if it'll get them what they want. And talk about us. That's what I have to say.
And that lady was sacrificed. They don't care who they sacrificed for the cause. And by any means necessary, hook or crook, they're going to try to get their way. And like I said, we know better than that because we already know what's going to happen to us. And I don't understand, if it's supposed to be a justice system in America, why isn't there any justice for the rest of the Americans? Why do we have to be under attack like this? Why is the news media not calling this mess out? Everybody saw what happened on January the 6th. Everybody saw. But you have so many people that's trying to change the narrative. And, if you keep saying the same thing, then maybe, it's like brainwashing. And it's like an ad. If you keep seeing the same ad, it's going to get into your brain, whether you know it's true or not. It's still in your mind. And it seems like that's what he's doing with these people. It's not even a political party anymore. In my opinion, it's a cult. He's turned it into a cult.
Yeah. Well, we're coming to the end of our show, and what a wonderful conversation that has been had today. There are a lot of dangers out there, folks, and we're asking you to please be vigilant. Our chief correspondent and our lead contributor, Brother Lee and Sister I Said What I Said, are going to come back tomorrow with some more information about what's going on at the ballot box. It's enough now. The campaign is rolling. You can campaign until Election Day, but we're voting right now. And those of you that can vote early, and absentee if you can. Get your voting in. Forgive me, I drank some coffee, went down the wrong way. Y'all, I got to stop that. I got to get myself together. And I know that, and I got the hiccups now. That's terrible. Listen, you're listening to WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the Magman Morning Show. I'm James Mack, your host. Thank you to our wonderful panel each and every day. Our chief correspondent, I Said What I Said, and our senior contributor and lead contributor, Brother Lee, is here with us. And we want to thank Dr. J, our executive producer, and all of our staff and people here at the Magman Morning Show. You have a good morning and enjoy your day. Show some love. It ain't gonna cost you nothing to love anybody, because if you show some love, I believe love will come back to you. We'll see you on tomorrow.
It's a man named Morning Joe.